Hello, all. Um, it is now Monday morning after a busy weekend, and I'm sorry for those of you who logged on at 7 a.m. expecting to see a video update and didn't see one. I apologize for the delay. I bet there weren't very many of you beating down the doors to get to your English 2020 D2L homepage, but if you were, I apologize for that. Mondays are always the day when I have to spend the first part of the day going over and much of Sunday as well, going over the discussion boards. So things just got, my schedule just got a little too crowded. But anyways, we are back on schedule. We are finishing up the fourth module this week. Uh, that is the beginning of week 12, and we have a couple of interesting figures here, neither of which is in your textbook. Both of them are addressed in works that are in the MTSU library, and both are very interesting. Again, empiricist, meaning they traveled far afield to gather information and to develop new branches of scientific inquiry, and both of them are going to be interesting topics of study. The first is Joseph Banks, and he is generally regarded as a pioneer in anthropology, also a sort of a science celebrity in his own time. He was president of the Royal Society in the 18th century, and really was a young man born into fortunate circumstances, inherited a lot of money at a young age, and became very interested in botany, and ended up as sort of an ethnobotanist or a proto version of that within that discipline, that kind of scientist. He did establish an alignment with the Royal Navy, and especially with the ill-fated Captain Cook, whose history is also a part of this story. And so there's some materials there that explain both of them. The reading about Banks is taken from the book The Age of Wonder by Richard Holmes. So I'll spend part of Wednesday's Zoom session talking about that work and why this figure is interesting and important. But I think you'll find that it's some fairly engaging reading, and Banks is an interesting figure, like I say, as a proto-anthropologist. As a young man, he went off again with the Royal Navy on a scientific expedition, and ended up spending some time in the South Pacific on the island of what we now call Tahiti, and spent some time there with a cadre of British, like-minded British proto-scientists, illustrators, and so forth. And their mission was to go to that very exotic part of the world and find out what they could, and get specimens and draw the plants and the culture, represent it in painting. And so it's an interesting chapter in scientific history. Also, when they returned, they brought back a native Tahitian named Omai, who became something of a celebrity in London when he was there. So he was another key figure who, you know, represented an exotic and unknown part of the world. So that's Joseph Banks. And the other figure is Alexander von Humboldt, who is also probably someone you don't know much about or haven't really heard of. Von Humboldt is, again, a pioneering scientist of the late 17th and early 18th century who is really sort of one of the first climate scientists. Had a great deal of fame in his own life, and his work was recently uncovered by the journalist, writer, nature writer Andrea Wolf, and her work is the first one we'll read this week. We'll actually read some accounts from von Humboldt himself for Friday's class. So very interesting couple of figures to think about this week. again, doing far-ranging field work and recognizing that both made significant contributions. So I did want to make a couple of points about assignments. First of all, I did last week return your first thematic essay. And so if you haven't done so, you can check the grade. The next exam essay is due right before Thanksgiving. So I'll say a few words about that this coming week. And after that, our days get somewhat shorter in terms of the length of the semester, and especially this compressed semester, just because to make the schedule manageable and to make sure you had as much opportunity to write over figures of your choosing. I didn't make the second thematic essay due until during the exam week, or the uh, week before the exams are scheduled. Again, the semester is compressed, so what used to be a dead day is now a dead week. So um, I'll say more about that as well, and I hope to give you an opportunity to talk about topics that you might be interested in, and we can spend a bit more time with the assignment. I can talk more about the option you have to revise, and the choice you uh, face as somebody who can revise. And I'll also be saying a bit more about the final exam. So anyways, that is the update for week 12. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you on Wednesday.